Vesting schedule. Why do founders need a vesting schedule? Don't you trust me? Everyone who's involved with a startup has a vesting schedule. Everyone who's on the management team, everyone who's a founder, everyone who's in the staff. And the reason for that is because the work that is done over a period of time. Now founders think, well, why, since I started the thing, why doesn't it just vest immediately? Well, there's the reason for that is that there's something called hope value that's built into the valuation that you have for your company. A lot of companies, when they get started, have a valuation of, say, millions of dollars. Even if a company is less than a year or two old, they would have valuations of several $1 million in the high-tech area. And what that is really hope value. It's not actually what the company is worth that day, because at the time when they're valued at that level, they probably don't have $1 million in sales, which would justify a $3 million or $5 million or even a $7 million valuation. So what vesting schedules do is they tie the hope value that you have for the company to your actual performance over time. And that's super important, because the actual value of the company when an investor comes along is pretty close to zero. The ideas are almost worthless. Even if you have patents, it's almost worthless because most patents don't amount to anything. And it actually takes quite a period of time to actually develop the customer base, to develop the team that can build products that can, win in the marketplace. And only at the time that your company is number one or number two in the marketplace have you built anything that's of significant value, worth millions of dollars. So the vesting schedule is meant to lock the founder into a company so that they can deliver the performance that they're promising the investor, to match up that hope value with the delivered value. And that's why vesting schedules are important from the investor's point of view. Now, it's even more important from the founder's point of view, because the founders are dependent on each other. And because it always takes a team to build anything of worth. And so if a founder, say there's 3 founders, they each have 25% of the company, the other 25% goes to friends and family and institutional capital and an ESOP program. Say that 1 or 2 of the founders got fed up, there were some disagreements, and they left. That would be really, really bad news for the remaining founders, because that part of the cap table, that part of the ownership of the company, would still be taken up by somebody who's not there. And that basically ascribes way too much hope value to somebody who's not delivering the work. So by flushing out the portion of the undelivered work that is related to the time that someone has stayed there, that is actually in the best interest of all the founders that do stay to deliver a company that's worth something. At the point where a company is already worth something, where the company is delivering, say, 10, 20, $30 million in revenue, there's profits, at that point, asking a founder to come back and to revest their shares, to have another 4 years added on to their vesting schedule, that's probably inappropriate. So the founders do get treated differently depending on how far they've brought their business and how much of the business value is no longer hope value, it's actually delivered value. But it really takes, the valuations these days are such that the companies have so much hope value built into them that you really need a vesting schedule to be able to deliver the valuation you're asking for from the venture capitalists. and from the marketplace in general. Stock options also have vesting schedules, and they're typically the 4-year vesting schedules. So when you're thinking, well, don't these guys trust me? Yeah, they trust you and they believe in you, and it would be stupid for both the founding team or the investors to not have the protection to make sure that everyone is equally motivated to stay at the distance of delivering the value of the growth of the company. VC Lingo. Lingo.